Hey guys, Pocket here with a event guide for the Celestial Festival event. So first thing you're going to want to do when you log in is go to your Start tab as always and click on the event banner to start the Prequest. And to get in, I'm going to go ahead and skip all the text so that this video is not too long. So this is the event map. You'll see a bunch of different NPCs and a bunch of portals inside. The first thing you've got to do once you're done with all the cutscenes is to go through the tutorial text of each NPC. You may or may not want to read what they have to say. I have everything written down in a handy dandy written guide down below as well. So before you can do anything, you will need to start the Prequests. So when you first enter, only one person will have a bubble icon. Just go ahead and talk to him and go through all the text. After that, everyone will have their own blue kind of intro quest. So before you can do anything else, I would recommend going through all of them, as it is required. Before you can choose a perk, it'll tell you what you haven't done yet. So you basically have to do almost all of blue text. You may or may not want to just do all of them, since you'll have to do them anyway before you can do the mini games that are connected with them. Okay, so we're still missing Surging with Power and Festival Etiquette. This guy has the parade, this one has the red etiquette. Talk to him. So now we just need Surging with Power, I believe. Oh, it's this one. Okay. And then you do that. And once that's done, now you can choose. So there's going to be 3 different types of perks to choose from: Celestial Surge, Enter the Umbra, and Unending Night. I'll go ahead and switch to my text here, and we'll shift through around. So the main 3 events are these 3 options. You pick one, and then you're locked in for the week until the weekly reset for the event Perk, which is Tuesday to Wednesday reset in-game. So the very first skill, Celestial Surge, it gives you a beginner tab skill that deals AoE damage and gives you 5 points every time you use it. As you train, you'll have a surge bar on your screen that fills up as you kill monsters around your level. And that bar looks like this. It shows up in the middle of your screen, and as you kill things, the number will keep going up. So you use the beginner tab skill, Celestial Surge, you put in a key, and then every time you have an interval of 100, you may use this skill. I'm actually not going to use it right now because I plan on training this later, and you're limited to uses per days, so I won't use any right now. So as you train, you just gain surge points, and every time you hit 100, you can use the skill. It'll do a kind of a full map attack wide eclipse sort of animation and deal damage to lots of mobs and also stack your buff. So as mentioned, or now we're going to mention it, the EXP buff stacks up to 50 times, but you can only use the skill 50 times per day across the entire world. You get EXP per buff stack based on what ranking you are. You know, CBAS, 2, 3, 4, 5% per stack. So this can be 2 times 50, 3, 4, 5, so 100, 150, 200, 250% EXP buff for the character you're training on. So the buff is kept if you DC or relog, but you will lose it if you die without a buff freezer, or if you can right click cancel, or if you move to a buff removing map such as Ursus or Flag Race, so be very careful. So, as mentioned, you have a limit of 50 stacks per day, 50 uses per day. The timer for the buff does go down continuously even if you are logged out. So this means the most efficient ways to use this perk and skill is to train in one chunk, one training session. Because if you log out, then the buff will go down, and because you're limited to 50 stacks a day, if you use a certain number of stacks the first day and you want to train the second day, you've consumed that many stacks for the very first day. So for example, like if you lose the buff when you're at 10 stacks, you only have 40 remaining for the rest of the day. So same goes as if you just train. So if you're training, you get to like stack 15 and then you have to go. The buff will tick down to 0 as you're offline, and then the second day you only have 50 minus 15, so up to 35 stacks. So as I mentioned here, every time you use a skill, you increase the stack number up to 50 maximum, and the duration also goes up by 5 minutes per stack. So if you are ready for a grind session and you pop your totem, if you stack to 50 in one sitting, as you can see it's 50 stacks per 5 minutes, 250 minutes max, which is just over 4 hours roughly. Which is, just coincidentally enough time for about 2 totems, if that's your plan. Also keep in mind that many summons do not stack, or do not give you surge points for the skill to stack up. So as I was training my Hayato, that was one of my slower ones, as Phantom Blade, one of the main mobbing skills, did not give me any points, so it actually took close to an hour to fully stack. Whereas as I was training my Buccaneer yesterday, it took like roughly 30 minutes and I was full stacked already. So it can vary from character to character, so there is some stacking time you may want to take into consideration as well. So this is a very good buff, but it's kind of limited because it really requires you to do a 4-hour block of training to fully maximize the benefit. What you could do is split it into 2 days, perhaps only go up to 25 stacks the first day. That'll give you a 50% EXP buff, but just for like 2 hours and 5 minutes. And then the second day, because after 25 stacks you stop using the skill and your stacks stop going up, you can go ahead and stack it up to 25 again. But keep in mind there's a stacking time. As you stack, it takes time to stack, and you only get half the buff for the 2 hours. Whereas if you would do one sitting, you would be able to like get full stacks, 50 stacks, so that'd be the 100% EXP buff at the C rank within, less than 1 hour usually. So then you would have 3 hours of 100% EXP. Whereas if you split into 2 days from half and half, then it takes time to stack up to the 25 even, and then for the remaining of the time you're only at 50% EXP. So to really maximize the Celestial Surge event buff, you really have to just train a 4-hour session. So it's pretty hardcore, and it can be hard to find that much time at once, but if you can, it's some pretty crazy EXP. Because as you rank up, it's going to go up to 3, 4, 5% per stack, which can be 150, 200, 250. Alright, so that's the first perk. Alright, so now we're going to check out the second perk called Enter the Umbra. So essentially, when you choose this perk, you get access to the Umbra training ground. You can enter through this portal here on top of the little golden house, and then once inside, there's just a bunch of monsters. They scale to the level of your own character. I'm kind of weak on this character, so I'm not killing him too fast. I've done this event on a low level character, and from level 71 I got to level 119 within the 30-minute time period. I was running like 2x EXP and MVP, green pot, and I brought a Economule as well, so it was pretty fast. If you can one-shot them, you can pretty much clear the whole map before the next wave, but it's important to note that there are very dangerous mobs that spawn. So it's very similar to Utah's farm, if you remember that from the adventure patch. If you have no idea what that is, it's basically an instance little room that spawns your own mobs for you, and you just kill them. It's definitely worse than Utah's, as spawn boosters do not work, including Kishin and totems, and then when you're inside you can see 10 total people along with you, but everyone will have their own mobs to kill. So as you rank up, the timer with which you can stay inside and the amount of bonus EXP you get inside will go up, depending on your rank. When your time runs out, you can still stay inside, but you won't get any more EXP. So this is good for like a bishop mule if you want to put one inside to buff yourself on a different account. So there's one important thing to note in that periodically there will be sand rats of darkness that spawn, and these are what will give you your points. So how you'll cap mainly. The thing is that if there's a high level in your map, the level of the sand rat gets averaged to the average level of the map, which means if you're very low level, like 61 minimum, and there's someone like level 150 in the map, then the average will be between the two, so the monster is going to be very high level. You can still kill them, but they're going to do a lot of damage for you. I've noted here that as I was training my Iran, I was taking 5,000 to 7,000 magic damage per hit. So if you're not careful in your low HP class, you can die very quickly and very easily. I have a list of recommended HP boosters for low level and squishy classes that will help you not get one shot. So you got the red monster power potion, this gives you 2000 HP. Got the legion blocks in the center of the legion, which you will want to put into HP for a maximum of 3750, and then you have Dawn Warrior and Mihail Warrior blocks on the legion itself. If you have access to those, can give you up to several thousand HP as well, depending on what rank they are. And if you have the benefit of a high level bishop mule, if you use advanced blessing, that also can give up to 1750 HP. 1000 extra up to this amount if you put in the hyper point on the passive hyper skills. So with this much HP plus your character's base HP, you should not be getting one shot anymore, but you might still be getting two shot. So you want to go in with a decent amount of potions to make sure you're not dying all the time and losing your buffs, and make sure to bring a couple buff racers just in case as well. So you can enter and exit as much as you want, and the timer only goes down when you're inside. So you can leave to grab an MVP or grab a rune when that's ready to go, and then you can just go back in. And the timer will continue where it's left off. So I tried this on my mule account, and as I noted here, I did it on a level 71 Iran. All the way up to 100, I was pretty much one-shotting everything with a level 30 weapon, and it was pretty easy. Just had to watch out for the sand rats whenever they spawn. There's a message and you can kind of see them pop out. After that, I started two-shotting, and then I needed to go do Zakim and get like a Zak weapon and do job advancement to continue training at a better rate. So once again, you can leave to do job advancements or grab a rune or do a Zakim maybe at level 100 on reboot or earlier if you're on non-reboot, and then just go back in again. And that's okay. So this event really wasn't that bad. A lot of people regretted choosing it, but if it's right for you, it's actually pretty good. You can get a lot of levels in just 30 minutes. I got a character to almost 120 from 71 on a 4K Legion account, so I wasn't that super strong or anything. Just made sure to grab a 2x from my Legion shop and hop into an MVP before going in. I didn't even use a rune either. So I would recommend this perk if you don't really have a Kishin Mule, or you don't have 4 hours a day to sit down for Celestial Surge to maximize from that mostly. And if you have a lot of characters that are like sub 140-ish, it's pretty good. Do note that it is kind of hard to earn points from killing sand rats. you don't get that many per character, so you may have to supplement the coin capping or point capping for the Umbra by AFKing on the balloon for points, which I'll mention down below. Or playing any of the mini games. So that's the second perk. The third perk is called Unending Night. This one will give you extra symbols for daily arcane quests. And to cap points with this skill, apparently if you just do a few VJ quests, Vanishing Journey, you cap all the way to 100 very quickly. So I suppose it's designed that like a low-level player that can only do Vanishing Journey can also cap, so it didn't like scale it across all the quests, meaning if you just do Vanishing Journey you'll cap already. So that's pretty nice. And you get extra symbols across all the different party quests and the regular quests for every area. Do note that you will not get bonus symbols if you use the Arcane Express option, so you can't fully skip them, but you can use the regular autocomplete, as in like you're high level and you've unlocked further areas, so if you just do one quest from that area, you can automatically complete the rest of them. This is not the Maple Point option. So starting out, this event gives you, or this perk gives you double symbols, and then it can go up. It'll start giving you node stones at the next rank, and then more node stones, then eventually at the final rank, S rank, it gives you 3 times symbols and 3 times nodes. There are 10 nodes. So we're not fully confirmed for GMS yet, since we haven't gotten the B rank yet, whether or not it's nodes per quest, or per area, or per day. Everyone is saying that it is per quest, which would make this pretty crazy, per area, rather. So it'd be like 30 nodes per day, since there's 6 areas, 5 nodes each area, for the second rank. And then for the third rank and the fourth rank, you'd be getting 60 nodes a day per character. So this may be very, very powerful. I'll actually find out tonight at reset whether or not it's per area or just per day, the extra nodes. So based on what Maple got, we're kind of assuming that we're going to be getting them per area. So this could be a crazy amount of nodes, which could be really, really good progression for your characters as well. So those are the 3 main events. Once again, you got the Surge, the Umbra, and the Night symbols, the EXP buff, and then the training map. So that covers the 3 main skills. In general, we'll go over the ranks now. There's 4 different ranks. We had C immediately. Everyone starts at C. Then once you earn 600 points, you can unlock B. And then there's some date and additional point locks for A and S. A rank unlocks at September 2nd and September 9th for S. So as you earn points daily, they count toward a cumulative amount. And when you rank up, it doesn't cost points, it just cares how much you've earned. The points themselves are going to be used for buying skill points. And I will show you me adding my first point here. We've collected our first 300 points. We'll go to Muhammad and purchase a skill point. It will cost 300 points. And we have to do it based on what we've unlocked. So we've only unlocked this row because we're rank C. So we can only choose one of these. So I'm going to go for EXP because I'm planning on getting this one once we get rank up at 600 points and get the second skill point. So we'll level it up, confirm, and it's a 0 out of 1. Okay, there we go. Alright. And so we spent that point, however, you can see that my game crashed. So I did crash, as is tradition, but once I have put it in, I have my skill point here. So we'll go over what the skills do down below a bit more. I've listed them in the document, but pretty much you're locked to the role that you've unlocked up to for the rank, and then you're not restricted by what perk you've chosen. So on my main account I chose a Surge, and you can see I've earned up to this amount here, and I have less because I've spent my first 300 points already on one skill point. So some require previous skills to unlock and some are standalone. Once the rank is available, which should be today at reset for us, you just talk to Muhammad in the event map, and just remember, ranking up, it does not cost anything, but you must have earned the required amount. So here's a list of all the perks per ranking for the skills themselves. I listed them with the skills as well. So like as you rank up, you get more time and EXP in the Umbra, Celestial Surge, the buff gets bigger, and you get more nodes and symbols per area. As you unlock different ranks, you will also get special prizes as well. So unlocking B rank gives you a Mega Burninator, applies a 30-day burning effect to a non-zero, non-Adele character of your choice. At A rank, the Sanctuary of Stars is unlocked, which is the Noble Room up to 15 stars, and includes Tyrants up to 8 stars this time around. Excuse me. And then at S rank, you get the equipment transfer for non-reboot, and then for reboot we get a unique potential scroll 100%. And there's another bonus at 3,000 points earned. You can transfer a mount once per roll, excluding some job-specific mounts. And then I believe at S rank you also just get a title that has 30 all-stat and 10 attack and some HP MP. So the skills themselves, we've kind of gone over briefly, but again, you have to spend 300 points each, as I showed in the video earlier, and you can earn a maximum of 12 points throughout the whole event. You can also reset all of the points on your tree one time during the event, and the reset is available after the 9th of September by talking also to Muhammad again. So here's a list of all the different perks on the tree. You can take a look. I'll have a link to this document in the description, but I'll just pop in again in game real quick. So I'll just speak briefly on my own plan. So I am mainly going to be doing Surge and symbols throughout this event. I'm gonna skip the Umbra perk, but I can also put points into this tree. So for my 12 points, I'm going to start out here to get the rune effect first. I'm not going to get the bounty portal one, not going to get double elite boss treasure, and not going to get double EXP wolf portals. There's some more combo orb related ones. I'll most likely skip these as well. So I'll go into 1, 2, and then for a second tree, there's some base EXP increases, stacking with previous levels. So 5, 10, 15, plus 10 on the last one is 25 extra EXP here. This is extra elite mob spawns per wave, and extra monsters damage against regular monsters, and buff duration 15%. So I'll likely go 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and maybe 5 for the extra damage for my mules as I'm training them to 220, going for 9k legion. And the last one is symbol related. The first 3 skills give you an additional symbol per main area. So this is kind of excluding the party quest or solo jump quest stuff. This is the main sort of kill quest related ones. So if you put 1 point here, you'll get 1 extra symbol per area, then 2 extra symbols, 3 extra symbols. So it's 1 symbol per skill point here. This is double monster perk EXP, and this is boss damage 30%. And this one gives you Cygnus, Hard Magnus, and all of CRA Chaos Rudibus bosses reset tickets once a week per character. But as this is an S rank perk, if we look at the calendar, you pretty much only get to use this perk 2 times, and then the event ends. So you have to decide if that is worth it for you. So for me, I think my plan is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Well, because S rank is unlocked so late, I suppose I'd do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, perhaps. So we kind of have to keep in mind that we're going to have to unlock these gradually and slowly, as you only earn 140 points per day and each skill costs 300, so it actually takes between 2 to 3 days for each skill point. So it's kind of slow going at the start, and for your final skill points you won't actually be able to use them for very long because the event is almost over by then. So back to the document, those are the skill points, and as you put more and more skill points on certain trees, there'll be some small like background effect changes, kind of irrelevant, just for fun though. Alright, so we've gone over the main events, we've gone over the skill points, gone over the different ranks and the rank rewards. Let's talk about the side events. So the most important side event, the Fire Thief. For this one, you want to go back to the festival grounds. It's on the right side of the map. You have to do the little Prequest thing with Muhammad. And then through Black Bowl, you can enter the map. I've already done it for the day, so I don't think I can enter anymore. But once you're inside, little fireworks will spawn and a big sand giant. You want to kill as much as you can. You get 20 seconds, 2 minutes, excuse me. And like everything else, you have to be level 61 or above. They somewhat scale to your level, so you do not have to be level 260 to full clear it, I don't believe. But the maximum you can get is 40 celestial points on top of the 100 base cap. So this does go over the cap. This is the only side event that goes over the cap, so you definitely want to do this. There's once per day per world, and as noted, yes, it does exceed the 100 point cap. So max score inside is 1200, and then when you exit it gets divided by 30, which is the 40 celestial points max. Another side event, every 30 minutes on the hour, you'll see a parade float spawn. You can attack it to get orbs and EXP lollipops. I believe each orb is worth 1 point, so you can get a max of 30 points per day toward your 100 cap. So this does not go over the cap, and the EXP orbs are kind of small. Speak of the devil, here it is. Here's the float. You can just like attack it and then stuff will start dropping. Any moment now. There you go. I'm already capped, so I don't get any points, but the lollipops give you a bit of EXP, and the candies are points. Not really necessary, since it's easy to cap through the symbol perk and the training, the skill perk. The Umbra, you may want to do this, but there's other ways of getting points as well. Probably easier too. So the jackpot game is the spinner game. They're also near the right side of the map. If you land on a black section, you win. A white section equals lose. It does not cost anything to play. There's a 30-minute cooldown. If you spin and win, you get 20 points for the first win, and then you can double that up to 3 times. So you can win, 20, 40, and then 80, and then maybe one more time to cap your coins. As you play, you have sort of a bank of points that you can redeem once per day. But if you land on white, you lose all your points. This means you could, play a game and get 20, and then you could just withdraw your 20 points immediately, or you could wait half an hour and try again, maybe get 40, maybe get 80, but then it's a double game. If you win, you double. If you lose everything, so you gotta start back at 20 again. They put in the patch notes that if you win 3 times or lose 3 times in a row, and then you keep trying to play or keep trying to withdraw points, they might think you're a bot, and then you have to do a little anti-bot mini game thing, which is like killing a bunch of mobs. So this also goes toward the point cap, as well. So just another option to earn points. And then the last thing is the hot air balloons. On the left side there's a pink bean one. You have to be level 105 or above for this one. So not 61, 105. And then You just sit on the balloon, you get some EXP. The patch notes say there's no time limit, such as the Rise event we just had, which was 8 hours, but the amount of EXP is a lot less than Rise. It's about 1/5 or 20% of the EXP, so it's pretty slow, and there's no limit. So if you're busy all day, you could just sit on it. The right side of the map is a Yeti balloon. This gives you 0.5 points per 10 seconds, or 30 points per 100 minutes. This means if you do nothing else in the game, if you just sit on the balloon, it'll take about 5.56 hours and you will get 100 points. So if you're doing the Umbra, for example, the training room one, and you're just not getting enough points, I would recommend putting your character on the Yeti balloon overnight, or any character, and then by the morning you should be capped, assuming you sleep, at least 5 hours if you've already got some points from the Umbra. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but the 100 point cap on the screen is worldwide, so you don't have to do a per character thing. Once you've capped on one character, you've capped across your whole world. And then the only use for the points is to buy skill points to put on the tree. The other so-called use is, as you earn points, once you've hit enough for the next rank, then you can just unlock it. You don't have to spend them. The only way you spend them is by buying the skill points on the tree. And that should about wrap it up. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Think I missed anything? Don't be afraid to leave a comment. I will have a link to this document below, and there's actually one more very useful spreadsheet that I also link again. This is somebody on Reddit has made a very useful sheet that shows, kind of like by when you started, or this is assuming you started on day 1 of the event. So if you didn't start, you still can kind of get a rough idea of when you'll have enough points to reach certain rankings, or when your next skill point will unlock. So just by this, you can kind of see that it takes a while to get to rank S, and then once you're at rank S, it takes a while. There's even a skill point column that shows like when you unlock your skills. So you only get to use the last 2 skill points, 11 and 12 down here, for like 5 days. The final skill point you only get 3 days of use, and then the event ends. So roughly every 2 days you will get 1 skill, since you earn 140 a day maximum. So yeah, there'll be a link to this kind of my own curated guide here with all the info here. So I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.